I got this round board from Home Depot. It measures at about 18 inches. And then I'll be using this spring stencil that I got off of Amazon. So first I'm going to be using Folk Art chalk paint in the color white to paint that round board. I only applied one coat, and you just want to allow that coat to completely dry before moving on. I then just put the stencil down, just making sure that I had it right into the center. Once I had that put into the center, I just am holding the stencil down with some blue painter's tape so it does not lift off on me. So the first color that I'll be using for this stencil is some Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. I'm just using a cut up sponge to apply this chalk paint, but you could use a foam dabber or a makeup sponge to apply the paint as well. And you do just want to make sure that you have a very thin amount of paint on your sponge, so that will prevent any kind of bleeding. Now I'm just using some Folk Art chalk paint in the color Summer Porch for the little chicks that are at the bottom of the stencil. At the top of the stencil, there's a beet and 2 carrots, so I just used some blue painter's tape just to cover up that beet. And then I'm using some acrylic paint in the color Terracotta. And again, I'm just using a sponge to apply that color for the carrots. And for the greenery, I'm using Waverly chalk paint in the color Moss. And for the little beet, I'll be using Waverly in the color Merlot. And here comes the big peel and reveal. This is my favorite part. Look at how cute this came out. So now for the bottom and top of this board, I'm making some grain sack lines. So what this consists of is just 2 very thin lines and then a thicker line in the middle of the 2 thinner ones. So I'm just creating a skinny line, and I just used some gray chalk paint, and now I'm going to be using some more tape to make a larger line, just using that gray chalk paint, and allow all of these to dry in between. And once I had that thicker line done, I then just went over it and used some more painter's tape to make a skinnier line. And again, I did this design for the top and the bottom of the round board. And just look at how adorable this is. So now to make this look a little bit more weathered, I'm just using some Waverly Antique Wax. I just put a small amount on my paintbrush and just did a dry brush method. So all you have to do is just some light strokes until you are satisfied to how this looks. I cannot get over how cute this came out. I had made this spoon and fork in a previous project, so these are just going to be the handles for my little board. So I'm just using some wood screws just to screw those right into the sides. And how adorable is that? And I also like making these into a Lazy Susan. So I got this Lazy Susan turntable that also came from Home Depot, and I just screwed that at the bottom as well. And how adorable and fun was this? I absolutely loved creating this. I hope this inspires you to create your own. If it does, please be sure to sprinkle the love. Thank y'all so much, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.